Okay, go with me on this. I know malls are dying, but I still think they are fascinating places. Besides the fact that it's high quality, grade A people watching, malls are a place where hundreds of very different brands with completely different vibes all sit side by side. Maybe you've never thought about brands having vibes or personalities or reputations, but they do. Think about it. There's a difference between Nike and Sperry, right? Even though they both sell shoes, you instantly know when you walk by which is which. Or what about Urban Outfitters and H&M? They literally sell the same products to the same age people, but there's just something different about them. Here's why I think that's fascinating. Companies spend billions of dollars each year trying to control those brands' reputations. The look, the smell, the thing they're known for. Those aren't accidents. They're carefully decided. Here's what I mean. I'm going to read a reputation. You tell me what brand it is. 2-day or less lightning fast shipping. Amazon. Lowest price always. Walmart. Free music streaming. Spotify. Best chicken sandwich ever. Chick-fil-A. Companies hire hundreds of people and spend billions of dollars trying to shape something that every one of us has and most of us spend very little time thinking about, and that's our reputation. Our reputations are made up of all sorts of things and bring all kinds of assumptions about who we are. Just think about the various groups in your school and the assumptions you've made about people who are part of those. Assumptions like, every rich kid is blank. The people with TikTok clout are blank. The AP honor students are blank. The football players and cheerleaders are blank. The people that are really into band are blank. Even though we don't say them out loud, or at least we shouldn't, we all tend to fill in the blanks about other people, to assume we know what to expect from them now, and what they're capable of, and how they'll respond in any situation. Where do these assumptions come from? Well, I think they come from a lot of places, but the following stand out the most. Experiences. We have experiences of what someone like them did or said to us, and we use those experiences to prejudge what this person is like. Insecurities. Sometimes our assumptions are formed from our insecurities. The person we're filling in a blank about has something we want or wish we had. They have the starting position on the team, or the house our family could never afford, and it's annoying. We automatically assume the worst about them because they remind us of how far we feel from being the best. Our limited experiences and insecurities cause us to fill in the blanks and convince ourselves that we know way more about somebody than we actually do, that we can literally predict their future. It's kind of illogical when you think about it. There is a moment from Jesus' life that may be able to help us. Jesus was in the middle of a tense encounter with some of the religious leaders in Israel at the time. They actually started trying to catch Jesus off guard with questions they hoped would prove he was a phony. During one of these encounters, after some people had gathered to listen to Jesus teach in the temple, the religious leaders caught a woman in an R-rated situation. As he was speaking, the teachers of the religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery. They put her in front of the crowd. "Teacher," they said to Jesus, "this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say?" They were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him. Don't miss this. The text says that this woman had been caught in the act. She was literally committing adultery when the leaders found her. But Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. They kept demanding an answer, so he stood up again and said, "All right, but let the one who has never sinned throw the first stone." Then he stooped down again and wrote in the dust. When the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. Then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Didn't even one of them condemn you?" "No, Lord," she said. And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." Mic drop. I'm not sure we can fully understand the tension of this moment. These religious leaders who built their brand on appearing better than others and pointing out the sins of others are totally put in their place. Basically, Jesus is saying, you're quick to point out what everyone else has gotten wrong, but what about you? Have you ever gotten it wrong? Then one by one, these leaders realize their plan backfired. Jesus kindly and lovingly releases the woman who is literally afraid for her life and tells her to go in freedom and live her life differently. Jesus challenged the woman to change by saying, "Go and sin no more," because no matter her reputation, he believed change was possible for her. Jesus proved that we are more than the assumption or judgments others make of us. We are worthy of forgiveness, grace, and a second chance because of his love for us. And we can extend the same forgiveness, grace, and love to others too. What if we chose to let love fill in the blank? When the opportunities for assumptions and judgments start flying at you, take these steps toward a new approach. Stop and think about your own brand. When you make an assumption about someone, about how they or what they will do later on, remember Jesus' forgiveness brought you to a place where your life started to change for the better. Then treat other people the way Jesus has treated you, with grace and love, assuming their best days can be ahead of them. Think about who you've built a bogus brand for. Who is someone you think you know, but you really don't? Who have you filled the blanks in for in a negative way without learning the whole story of them? What if you chose to fill in the blanks about them with Jesus' brand of compassion? What if you chose to let love fill in the blank for what we think about someone now and what we expect for them in the future? When we choose to follow Jesus' example and take these steps, we're choosing to let love fill in the blank instead of our quick or shallow assumptions and judgments about who they are now and who they can become. If this is really what Jesus is about, doesn't it cause you to be a little more interested in his brand? We can be people who let love fill in the blank about others. When we do this, we will be people known for our love of others, just like Jesus was, and just like Jesus intended for his people to be.